Welcome back to the Gen Z Speaks podcast. I am Matt Gutierrez. My co-host, who is anti-marriage, is Ibrahim Ahmed.
I love marriage.
Oh, you love marriage?
I love marriage.
Why aren't
Marriage
you
is one of
married
the
then?
most beautiful
Wait, why aren't
concepts
you
in the
married then,
world.
huh?
Because I want to prepare myself for marriage.
Unfortunate.
I want to. It's like a sport or anything you do. There's an art to it. I'm not there yet. You have to be perfect, and then you get married.
Would you
Not
buy
perfect,
your
I take
wife?
that back. You don't need to be perfect to get married.
Would you
but-
buy your wife a moissanite or lab-grown diamond ring?
A paper ring is what I'm getting.
A paper ring?
Yes, a paper ring.
That's better. That's better.
Handcrafted paper ring.
What kind? Would you want a diamond for your wife?
No, I would spend some effort, like handcraft it. Make it for less, handcraft it so it's more meaningful, not just like any other diamond that every single other girl already
Yeah.
has. I can't compete with diamonds.
Okay, in Japan, there's a place where you can handcraft a ring. Would you go to Japan, make a ring for her?
I'd go to Pakistan or some other country.
Why Pakistan? What's your affinity for them?
Sentimental value. I think I was born there. is what I've been
Really?
told. Yeah,
They hate you though.
it's okay. They hate me because they ain't me. They hate me because they ain't me.
Probably. Ibrahim Ahmed. They will see one day and they'll be like, that guy I ousted. And they'll be like, we want you
Actually,
back.
my name will probably be gone from history in Pakistan.
In Pakistan?
Yeah, that's what they did to Dr. Abdul Salam. Dr. Abdul Salam was the first Muslim
Yeah.
person to get a Nobel Prize
Right.
in physics, and he happened to be Ahmadi. And guess what? He was the father of the nuclear weapon program in Pakistan. He is the reason why Pakistan has nuclear weapons, and every single history book to this day in Pakistan
Uh-huh.
has basically eroded his name from history, only because he's Ahmadi.
So nobody knows about this guy. in
Nobody knows who Abdul Salam was for the most part. 99% of people in Pakistan
Pakistan. Yeah.
probably don't know he's Ahmadi. They don't know he's
Oh.
Ahmadi. Only a
So-
handful, because they've tried their best to shun that he was Ahmadi. You know, bro, it's so bad.
Okay.
On his tombstone, it said the first Muslim Nobel laureate in science. They took the Muslim out. So
Yeah.
it just says first Nobel laureate, which he was not the first Nobel laureate.
Really?
It's that bad, man. Yes.
And so people do know about this guy. They just don't know he's an Ahmadi.
A lot of people don't even know, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
They don't even know. They've literally tried their best to rewrite history.
He's
like, as
actually
if he never
our buddy's
existed.
grandfather, right?
That's true. Yes,
Yeah.
there's.
Our buddy is a Nobel laureate's grandson.
yeah, grandson. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, grandson.
Yeah,
Very
man. It's a
nice.
small world.
It is, man. Speaking of our buddy, you think he's ever read How to Win Friends and Influence People
Maybe.
as a lawyer?
Maybe. I think people have read that book. I've heard a lot about that book, which is the topic of today's podcast.
Yeah.
How to Win Friends and Influence People was a book written by,
Dale Carnegie.
and we don't know who Dale Carnegie is.
No, actually, I mean, I know he's a great author. I don't know what he did before being an author, though.
I haven't read this book. I've heard a lot about this book. I looked up some summary points
Mm.
from this. I don't know if I'm ever going to read the book.
Oh,
But I
no?
don't like the title, How to Win Friends.
Why?
Because do you need to win friends or do you attract friends? I think you
Attract.
attract friends.
I would agree with you.
Now, your point earlier when I shared this opinion with you was that there needs to be a strategy. But I honestly think, like, all my life,
Yeah.
maybe in recent time, like in the professional space, I've had some sort of a strategy, you could say. But in life,
Yeah.
I just made friends that vibed well with me.
Mhm.
As long as they
Oh, Quant.
as long as they were normal people and I
Yeah.
vibed with them, they were cool. They were my friends.
You're trying to say I'm a normal person?
You're an anomaly.
Thank you.
You're unlike any of my friends, to be
Appreciate
honest.
that.
No, but I had
Yeah.
no strategy, man. I don't think so.
So, now stating that, the point of the book isn't actually to win friends and make them like best friends like you and I, right? That's not actually the point. It's how to basically strategize and get things the way you want them without telling the person that you want them. It's basically convincing people that you're a good person, a appropriate person, without shoving it down their throat. And so there's a bunch. I mean, there's tons of chapters. I have all the chapters here, and then bullet points, and we can go through some of them, so I can explain basically how it works. In terms of like business, in terms of if you're trying to get certain things, it's probably a genius book. It's probably the most genius book in terms of communication style that's ever been written.
Mm.
So if you're trying to win friends, like, and you're trying to win somebody over to be your best friend, then you're probably reading the wrong book.
I like the second half of the title, how to influence people.
Influence
Because
people.
there is definitely an art to influencing people.
Yes.
There's definitely strategy involved. Yes.
And it doesn't. It sounds like it's a like a negative connotation, right? Influencing people.
No,
But it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
need to be. I see it in many ways. You can influence people to do so many things. It could be good or bad.
Right.
Depends on the person and
Yeah.
what you're trying to influence.
Yeah, and that kind of like brings us to like Robert Greene's book, right? 48 Laws of Power, and how he kind of uses the influence in a negative way. And did you know that 48 Laws of Power is actually illegal in prisons? The
I
book?
have heard of this.
You've
yes.
heard that?
Yes.
Is that insane?
Listen, that should not be right. Like you should not have censorship of books.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying
You get their point though.
Yeah, I get it, but they're saying like this will free the prisoners mentally, and like they'll figure out a way to escape. In a
No.
sense.
No.
No.
So what it's basically saying is through these laws of power Robert Greene established, the prisoners will go ahead and influence other prisoners to
Mhm.
do what they want, and they'll because they are their own
They'll
society.
band together.
Not only band together, but they can. Some of the prison leaders, right? What they can do is they'll manipulate. That's what it is. It's manipulation over influence. So some of the prison leaders will manipulate these guys into believing certain things.
What about the guards? At the
Not
prison?
much to do with the guards. Not much to do with the
Okay.
guards. But for sure, the reason it's illegal is because they have their own society in prison, right? And if you can manipulate people into doing certain things, then by default you have inordinate more power than other people in prison.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
in terms of like Dale Carnegie, for example, so in like part 1, the first chapter is if you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive.
Explain that.
Okay. So don't criticize, condemn, or complain, basically. So what Dale is trying to like establish here is if you're trying to have you heard that saying about honey?
No.
How
I'm
do you
an
attract?
immigrant. Explain it to me.
It's like how do you attract bees, basically? You bring honey. You don't give them water, basically, right? So if you want to attract bees to your side, you give them honey. You don't go ahead and kick over their beehive. So you don't attack them. You don't complain about what they're doing, condemn them for their thoughts. You kind of appreciate their thoughts, right? Even if they're not correct, you appreciate things that they're coming from. Places they're coming from, things that they're saying, and once you're able to establish that there's some appreciation, they'll naturally have a more affinity towards you. So when you say certain things that you want or certain things that are interesting,
Yeah.
right? They'll gravitate towards that.
What's the second point after that?
So second chapter is the big secret of dealing with people. Give honest and sincere appreciation.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, now that I'm reflecting back
Yeah.
on influencing people, if that's the term we want to use, I think there is only there's not only one answer, but my answer so far has been to empower people. Once you start empowering people, because I
Yeah.
think that all that you're describing basically
that what you
leads
just
to
said?
empowering people.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that you're bringing out the best in other people. At times you'll fail at that, but as long as you keep trying to make the best out of people, they'll respect you. They'll be more likely to not agree, but they'll be on your side.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They'll be on your side
100%.
more if as long as they understand and recognize the fact that this person is trying to bring out the best in me,
Right.
and that is reciprocal.
I agree, man. And if they're still argumentative towards you, I genuinely feel that inside they're going to feel stupid about what they're doing. Because if somebody's trying to empower you and you're trying to reject that empowerment, you're trying to reject that positivity, they're not going to be, they're going to feel like, what am I actually doing right now? I'm doing it out of anger, I'm doing it out of whatever, but they're not going to naturally feel right about what they're doing.
And the key is you have to be honest and sincere.
Yeah.
It honestly, like all BS aside, you can't come from a place of like wanting something out of this person. If you genuinely want best for other people,
Yeah.
that shows. Because
agree.
there's so many times where people will compliment you, right?
Mm.
Like, oh my God, dude. This happened today.
Okay.
This kid said, I'm a prodigy at comedy. This guy is like
Really?
a third year junior in college, and I
Uh-huh.
was like, I thought I was like, okay, buddy. He was like, dude. And he was being honest, and he's a little socially awkward, so I was like, okay.
Uh-huh.
But he was like, dude, I crack out loud every single time you post something, and I'm like, okay.
That you're the prodigy.
Yeah, like I'm the.
Oh,
I was like, okay.
I thought you were saying he was saying
No,
that
no,
he's
no,
the
no,
pro-
no.
Oh,
He was telling
okay.
me, I was like, okay.
Oh, that's nice of him.
That's nice of him. But yeah,
Okay.
but it's It's like the thing is, I've seen the pattern in him. Is the thing is, he tries to please other people
Uh-huh.
by complimenting them. Like his way of letting go of social anxiety is by like elevating the other person so high up
Yeah.
that it's just like majestic, a prodigy. I don't think I'm a prodigy. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I
I
get
get
what he
what
was
you're saying.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he enjoys my stuff. Thank you. I
You're
didn't
right.
I didn't like tell him every single thing I'm telling you right now. But
Right,
just like in a blink second, I was like, this guy.
You got the feel.
Somebody has to sit down with this
Mm.
guy and be like, it's okay, bro. You can just, make fun of somebody. It's okay. You
Yeah.
don't have to compliment somebody all the time because he does this
Yeah.
with other people as well. Like he's very complimentary, and
Okay.
that is not something you should do so heavily. Like
Yeah.
don't.
You know this guy?
Yeah, I know him pretty
Okay.
well, but like,
Yeah.
it's not like we're not tight, but I see
getcha.
him
Yeah, I
every now and
getcha.
then. But my point is like the compliments that you do give people should come out of a place of sincerity.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be just for the sake of it, just so the other person thinks more highly of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because
I
like
agree.
a lot of the times people can tell, like they know their actual worth. They know
Right.
like what is, they know if they are truly amazing or great at something.
Yeah.
Or some don't actually. Some just live in delusion. But yeah, for the most part, people do know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with the reason because people like know their worth or if it's bullshit or whatever. But I think this is just the way I feel. If I'm complimenting somebody, it's not just to compliment them. I'm hoping that my compliments hold weight, right? I'm not just saying this is great or that is great or you're doing well and everything. But when there is something truly going well, then I'm gonna compliment, right? And I hope it holds weight because it's truthful. What are you loud about?
No, it does need to like hold weight.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree. I was just thinking the way you said prodigy. I was like, I was confused for a second. I was like, prodigy. I was like,
Did you laugh?
no, I was
Oh.
just confused. I was like, what is this guy saying?
This is the big problem, bro. I think everyone sees it, especially in LA, man.
Yeah.
There's so much insincerity going on, dude. It's just because everyone's trying to win everybody over. That's what
Yeah.
he's getting at, right? It's easy to think that you can win somebody over by complimenting them. But realistically, if you're trying to get in a certain sphere of people and you're just complimenting everybody, and the thing is, if you're that person that's powerful and that has that has this power that other people want to be in, everyone's complimenting you. So you don't stand out to anybody because that's completely insincere, right? If you went up to somebody and for whatever, like maybe they're giving a comedy set, right? And you're like, dude, I love your stuff, but I have a question about so-and-so. Why did you frame it this way? And right, you framed maybe your positivity in questions or you framed your introduction
Yes.
as a critique.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, okay, this person has something to offer me. There's some value here. He's not just like every other yes man around me.
Going off that,
Yeah.
you need to be, like you said, be specific in giving compliments.
Yeah.
So there's a technique to complimenting. The best compliments, for me at least, the way
Yeah.
I perceive them, are those that are very specific. So like they'll
Mhm.
say, hey man, I really enjoyed, let's say stand-up
Yeah.
comedy, I really enjoyed your bit about this. I
Mhm.
loved the way you used Obama as a premise and then you talked about Trump. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, so you were paying attention.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better about myself versus, hey dude, great stuff. I love your stuff. You're
Right.
amazing. That's like, okay, general. Everybody has heard amazing,
Yes.
great, love, awesome, dope. But like, if you give somebody specific examples of
Yeah.
how they're amazing or how they're dope or how
Right.
they're awesome, that will like live with them so much more longer. Like they're more likely to remember that compliment.
For sure, dude. If it's specific, that goes to show the other person that, just like you said, they're paying attention, right? And if they're paying attention, I think if somebody's paying attention, it's even more powerful than somebody giving you a compliment,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because they're interested in what you're doing and who you are. So going back, like circling back, I mean, if you're trying to get into a sphere of influence, not that we're in one at any sort.
Are you kidding me? This is the most powerful podcast in the world.
Hey, it will be.
Millions of people are listening
Inshallah.
right now. People, yeah, inshallah, people are listening right now. Millions of
Yeah.
people are listening to our voices, what we have to say about Obama and
Yeah.
Trump and Harris.
Just like you said, delusion. Some people are just delusional. No, but seriously, I mean, if you're an insincere person, people just smell the bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
You can get some places, but you're not gonna truly be one of those guys. You're not gonna be the guy.
The problem, though, man, is not everybody is clever enough to see through the BS.
True.
Or maybe deep down they know that it's coming from a place of insincerity, but they just want to be around it because
They don't know what else to do.
Yes, they don't know what else to do, but also they just like the feeling of being complimented. Because some people's it's okay if that's your love language. Words of affirmation, but words of affirmation are actually supposed to be profound. Like they're not supposed to be like, oh my God, you're blah blah blah. Like
you're great.
Yeah, like you're great.
You
look amazing. Fine, you look beautiful, but that gets old. Like maybe something
100%.
spicier or something more specific.
Yeah.
About things.
What makes them beautiful?
Yeah, like what makes them? Yeah.
That's something about girls, man. Every girl, whether you're ugly or not, you're gonna get a complimented on looks. Another girl might.
What?
I said that's something about girls, right?
Yeah.
Whether they're ugly or beautiful, they're all gonna be told they're beautiful, whether by a guy or other girls, right?
Okay.
They're all gonna be told that. So if you're trying to stand out, say something that, maybe they haven't heard so much about.
I should write a book on this.
What,
so many adjectives. No, yeah, but that's the most that's so generic. Oh my God,
you're beautiful. Yeah.
But sometimes that could be amazing to
girls
say
still
as
like
well.
it.
Yeah,
girls still like it.
Depends on how you say it. You
Yeah,
know? I've seen people just. It's okay, but you.
No, I mean the truth is, man, girls still like it either way. But maybe it's not gonna be enough to make you memorable. That's my point.
Honestly, it's also about the way you say it too, because you can say, "Hey, you look beautiful today," or "Hey, can I tell you something? You look absolutely beautiful today." Those are two different versions.
They are different versions.
They're different versions.
Yeah.
I added the absolutely word in there, but even if you remove that, it all depends.
It depends on your personality too.
Yes.
Yeah. If your personality is that, then they might find it sincere.
No, but even if your personality isn't extroverted, don't be bland.
No, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
But
you look beautiful.
If I say that, you look absolutely beautiful. I don't think.
Okay, remove absolutely. You look.
You look beautiful. I don't know. I don't think Alexis would. I think she'd be like, "Huh, what's going on?"
Yeah, but you say it in your own personality, sure. Put your own touch to it. But it's so hard to be yourself when you're trying to win over someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if it's the opposite gender.
Yeah. Point is, be sincere, and then with your sincerity, be specific. All right.
Yes, you have to be specific. If you're gonna give somebody a compliment, please be specific.
Right. Dale also talks about. He goes, okay, so this is part 2. Do this, and you'll be welcome anywhere. Become genuinely interested in other people.
Yeah.
This kind of goes back to being specific and paying attention, right? If I'm talking to you and if I'm talking to you and you're in La La Land, that's something people can recognize, dude. Most people will keep talking because they don't want to say, hey, I know you're not listening to me right now. But if you are genuinely interested and you're listening to me and you're providing some feedback, oh, really? That happened? How did that happen? And you're asking questions, it makes me feel more heard, right? And everyone, like you always say, man, everyone just wants a voice. Everyone wants to be heard, right? And so if you're talking to somebody and somebody feels good about you and they're able to speak back to you and compliment you on something that you're talking about or add feedback to something that you just said, you're just going to naturally have a more affinity towards them. You're just going to feel better about this person.
Can you repeat everything you just said? Okay. I was in La La Land.
Yeah. This guy, by the way, is usually in La La Land when we're talking.
I'm kidding. No, you make great points, man.
You know when I know you're in La La Land?
What?
You go like this. You go like that. You will do that. 100%. You're like
at Twitch.
No, you're like.
Why are you making?
You do, bro. I promise. I promise.
Obama.
During this pod, you go like you're like. You raise your eyebrows and you do that.
Really?
Not kidding.
Roll back the tape. No.
Perhaps I'll send you something later.
I was on La La Land, but no.
No, I know you're listening right now.
Right now, yes. For now, we're not in La La Land. We're in present land. Some of the most annoying thing in conversation, especially in LA, is when everybody just wants to make a point and no one is actually listening to the other person. I could see it in their eyes. They're all ready to chime in.
Yes, dude.
And I'm like, okay, just listen. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm listening too. It's okay. This guy wants them on. Let's just hear him out. Let's hear him on. Respond back. It's okay. You don't have to put your.
They don't even want your response though.
Yeah.
They don't want your response if they're monologuing. Dude, how many times have you been somewhere and it's just like they just want to talk? Have you've
Happens
had
every day.
every day, bro.
Every
It
day.
happens with everybody, man. It's like so many people are genuinely not interested in what you have to say, and they think that they're much more important than you, maybe in a way, that their voice is more important.
Or what they have to say is more
Ooh,
important.
yeah, dude, you know what's so annoying to me, man? When I'm talking to somebody and they're looking away. Oh my god.
That can be annoying, but sometimes people do it out of nervousness because people don't like having eye contact.
If I'm talking to you and then I kind of like look to there, I'm like kind of looking forward. What I'm saying is, if I'm speaking and they're kind of like looking around, looking up,
Intentionally, yeah,
yes, that annoys me.
But you also work at the warehouse, so like they're looking around at the things. They have to look around, you know.
Which is fair. Warehouse is fine. I'm just saying in conversation.
General, yes.
Yeah,
If you're outside somewhere in a
And-
dinner with someone or
exactly.
lunch,
And they're kind of
you're
like,
eating.
or I just meet somebody and they ask me a question and I'm answering, especially when I'm answering something that they asked, and then all of a sudden they seem unaware, like
they
not
look uninterested. Yes.
I'm like, fuck you, dude. I don't say it, but I'm just in my head. I'm like, this person is somebody I'm not gonna talk to anymore.
Yeah.
That just because, dude, I've had so many conversations with people, dude. People that come to the warehouse, man. One guy, dude. He walks in the warehouse. He was buying something off of me, and I was like, "Hey, what's your name?" And he was like, "You can call me Lord." That's what he tells me. Instantly, I'm like, I'm laughing, right? Because inside of my head, I'm laughing. But I'm still engaged in conversation. Obviously, this guy is not a serious person if he's saying that I need to call him Lord as his name, right?
Maybe he is a lord, knighted by the Queen of England.
I was like, oh, so you're from England or what? He was like, well, my family owns quite a bit of land in the United Kingdom, and I don't want to mention any names, but one of my dearest cousins, she just sold off her 9th property, and
He was a British accent.
no, but he was creating this weird fucking accent that was it was like a wannabe, it was a wannabe shit English accent.
They were trying to prank you or something, or what?
No, it was like like he was delusional. Like he was just delusional. It was strange. My point is, I was still engaging in conversation.
Yeah.
It's not like, obviously I'm uninterested in this human,
Mhm.
but I'm still engaged in like, hey, okay, this guy can be maybe something's wrong with him, or like
Yeah.
maybe he has something valuable to say somewhere.
Mhm.
So I'm engaging in it. Even with somebody that's asking me to call them Lord. So, of course, an average person, if they're talking to me, I'm going to engage. Like, that's just the right thing to do as a person. Humans are naturally social, right? If I want to be heard, I have to listen to somebody as well.
Yes, it should be reciprocal.
Yeah. Would you listen to somebody if he asked you to call you Lord?
I just laugh like, what kind of lord? Lords don't sound like that.
And
First
no-
of all, you would have your assistant calling me, not your bum ass.
Yeah.
You'd be busy lording people around, bro. That's what I would say. You ain't no lord.
Bro, respectfully, there's nothing wrong with the car, but if you're a Lord, bro, you're not driving around a 90s VW.
I don't even like the name Lord, bro.
No, man.
Like, why?
Yeah,
Lord
I
is
agree.
should
It's
only be
God.
for God, bro.
Yeah.
No man should be called Lord. I don't know why they have that system in England, bro. It's actually like I mean maybe the vernacular is
Yeah.
different, but hell no, we're not letting that happen in America here.
Hell no.
Not over my dying bed. Hell no. President's already big
Oh,
enough.
dude. Yeah.
The thing, man, that personally offends me is I've had dinners and lunches with people where the other person is just telling me so many things, and the moment I interrupt them, they act like I interrupted their train of thought, and I was like, "You just said it's terrible. I'm gonna disagree with it. I'm not just another one of your colleagues or friends. Some people get a little off guard, like, well, let me finish, and I'm like, you know."
And you don't know these people like personally.
I've like met them a couple of times, but
yeah.
you know. But the thing is, if that's happening to you, yeah, you should interrupt them and be like, "Yo, hold on, what you just said." Chances are, if somebody's monologuing for like 5 minutes straight without letting you talk, they have had to say something that you don't fully agree with.
Yeah,
So,
which is fine.
so mention it. It's okay. A lot of people. The thing is, bro, the disparity that happens in conversations when the other person is talking so much is the other person is afraid to speak up. They're afraid to disagree.
Yeah.
They're afraid to go against what the other person is saying.
Right.
So they figure it's better just to listen and let this person do their thing. It's
True.
less confrontation.
Yeah. People are afraid of confrontation.
Yeah.
Naturally. What do you? I mean, and when that does happen, like for that example, how did you interrupt?
I just I'm trying to remember a recent
Yeah.
time. Yeah, I'm just like, no, you're wrong. Like, no,
You say something
I
like
was
that?
just like, yeah, I was like, no, you're wrong. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I try to do it in like in a very like familial way. I'm not doing like, what are you saying,
Mm.
bro? Like, I'm like, bro, come on. Like, are you serious? Like, I do it in like a funny kind of way, you know, where
Okay.
the other person doesn't feel so bad, because that's also important when you're
Yeah.
confronting somebody. And I don't know if that's mentioned in the book or not,
Mm.
but when you are disagreeing with somebody or just telling them that something that they're doing is wrong,
Yeah.
you should always do it in a way that makes them feel better about themselves, not bad. You know, that they're
Right.
better than that. That it was a mistake. That's not who they are.
Mm.
And if you disagree with somebody, be bold enough to say, I disagree with you.
I think that is contradictory. I think when you tell somebody you're wrong or I disagree, that comes off the bat like that it wouldn't make them feel good.
Yeah, there's ways. You're
Yeah.
right. There's ways to not use those words. Maybe
Right.
don't say you're wrong.
Yeah, that's
You
what you
know?
just
Yeah.
said.
But
What
you know
I
what?
do,
My
yeah,
point is, if something somebody is saying is completely wrong,
yeah.
you have to call it out, but do it in a way
So
that
this is
the
what
other
I do.
person. Yeah.
What I do is when I'm interrupting somebody because something that they're saying I don't either I don't understand, because usually when you disagree you don't fully understand what they're trying to say. So I always ask a question.
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, why do you think Trump said this the way he said it, right? And then they'll be like, okay, and then they'll jump into something else. And either there's two options, right? It strengthens your disagreement or it clears up the air. And so when it clears up the air, that's totally fine, because now you can be, oh, okay, you actually meant it this way rather than the way I took it, right? Which is better. I hope that happens. But if you truly disagree, now you say, oh, you did mean it that way. Actually, I think this. And then that's when I'll say it. And it'll naturally come off as I disagree rather than me saying, I disagree and this is why. It's rather a
Yeah.
question and then this is why it solidifies my opinion.
Yeah, you can phrase it in a
Yeah.
way that it's like that. Yeah, you don't
Right.
have to use the words I
Yeah, yeah.
disagree or you're wrong.
Yeah.
But in moments where somebody is completely wrong, it's okay to say you're wrong, dude, but do it in a way that's funny.
I think it's
You know?
cool when you have that familiarity with them. If you're buddies, if you're family, and you're like, wait, hold on a second, dude. That's not true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could. The thing, there is an art to being funny with anyone.
Yeah.
And if you have that, that's so powerful. Because I
Okay.
think a lot of times conversations arise when everything is just so serious.
Mm.
There's like a tension building,
Yes.
building, and then the conversation happens, and it's like,
Boom.
whoa.
Right.
It's like a, what is it? What do they call it? It's like a
It
atomic
explodes.
bomb
Yeah.
explodes. Yes, and that can all be prevented if from the very beginning there is no tension. There'll always be a tension, but the tension can be reduced through humor and being funny. Like always try that, because I've noticed at
Yeah.
least even with people that are not close to me, like
Yeah.
if you are using humor and trying to be funny,
Yeah.
people take it less strongly. They're like, okay, this
Yeah.
person, they're not coming off as like they know better than me. They're just making a point.
Right.
And, I might disagree with them, but they don't have
Yeah.
bad intentions.
I guess it just comes down to how you say it too, because I do know. I mean, there's comedians out there, and I'll even watch just in their acts and they're doing crowd work, and they get in conversation, and their points do come off aggressive, and it's like, okay, I don't think this is funny at all, actually, and this is from a spectator.
Mhm.
Imagine being the person, I would feel kind of offended too. Most of the time, people laugh it off,
Yeah.
but even me, I'm like, okay, dude, relax. Like, I know you're a comedian, you're trying to make
if
it
you
funny,
want
but
crowd work, it's
yeah.
completely different. Crowd work is different. You have to be aggressive.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to like relate it to what you're trying to say.
But I'm trying to say, I'm not saying that's not crowd work though. I'm just saying conversation, right? Because crowd
Yeah.
work, there's a hidden reality. The hidden reality is the comedian's word is the last word, right? Like the crowd
Yeah.
work guy is basically just there to facilitate the comedy.
Mhm.
So the comedian is gonna try to find the funny in whatever it is you're showing, and they're gonna do whatever it is you're doing. They're gonna say ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're gonna call it ridiculous.
Right.
They're
for
looking
sure,
at it
for
through
sure.
the comedian's
Yeah,
eye.
yeah.
But I'm saying in a conversation,
Yeah.
don't look it through a comedian's eye. Just make it funny. Just make the tension that's there, the first layer,
Mhm.
just reduce that as much as you can. I'm not saying it's gonna be gone completely.
Yeah,
but
yeah. You
if
think
you-
it
if-
helps?
and it reciprocates. If
Yeah.
you try to be funny, the other person will try to like make a joke too, and it's okay if they don't make you laugh fully.
Yeah.
But just go along with it and be like, yeah, I appreciate what you're
Yeah.
trying to do there, and it's
I think
not
it can
funny,
work.
but yeah,
Yeah. I don't completely agree, but I think it can work for sure.
it's worked for me, man.
Oh, pretty well.
I told this to do. I
Yeah.
told my mom to do this because sometimes at work
Yeah.
she deals with students, she teaches, and she's dealing with colleagues, and I'm
Yeah.
like, try to be funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Just try to be, and she's like, yeah, like it works.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but more
More
times than not.
Yeah.
Like, it just works when you're
strategy.
trying to be funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a strategy for sure.
Yeah.
The guy also goes, oh wait, this is part 3. The guy also goes, a simple way to make a good first impression is to smile. How do you feel about smiling when you're introducing yourself to people?
Depends on what kind of teeth you got. If you got
I knew you were gonna say
you got
this.
$1 million smile,
Yeah.
smile all you want. No, yeah, a smile is a beautiful thing, man. Smile, even if you
Yeah.
don't have the best teeth. Smile, I don't care.
Yeah. Honestly, I can't say anything. There's nothing to even talk about. Literally, it's just right. Just smile. Just
I
be
agree,
a
smile,
humane
yeah.
person. You don't know somebody. Why not be happy with them? Why do you have to be dude? There is something to talk about. I don't like this whole mysterious act people try to give, and they're like, you know what I'm saying? They're giving the eyes, and they're pursing their lips, trying to like look at a person.
Who,
like
who
make
is
them,
they people?
you
or
never
people?
like walk down the street and people are looking at you like.
Oh yeah,
You know?
but they're not moving their heads like. Whoa,
I'm
whoa.
over-exaggerating.
They're not like, hold on a second, buddy.
I'm exaggerating for the camera.
Well, I don't know, man.
No, but like you're walking past them and you're like,
yeah, they're just
and they're like-
intensely staring for no reson.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell did I do? But
Right.
you're smiling, they're like, they'll smile
like-
back. They'll be like weird or awkward
awkward about it.
Yeah.
But it's like, why not just smile from the get go? Why do you have to look at me and try to intimidate me or something?
Yeah, I feel you.
That's what it
yeah.
is. It's more of like an intimidation look.
No, I don't even know. I think
They're like trying to
size.
size you up.
No, they're
Like,
just-
hey man, if we were to get in a fight right now, I will fuck
hey
you
man,
up.
I am taller than you. I do go.
Hey man, I am bigger than you.
Yeah.
I'll bench more than you.
Yeah,
Bro.
it just looks like you don't go to the gym at all. I can just tell. No, I think that happens when they're just thinking of a lot of things. Because I've definitely looked at people. I'm thinking back.
Yeah.
I've looked at people, and just like not sternly, but just.
No,
like,
but do you try
you
to
know,
like?
No, but this is very rare that somebody squints their eyes at me and looks at me.
They've never raised your eyebrow.
I mean, it happens often from people of the other gender towards me, obviously.
Oh,
But
really?
dudes.
How often? How often is the question? Why hasn't this led to anything? Any marital affairs?
Whoa, marital affairs.
Oh.
That requires a person to be married.
Well, if lots of women are doing this,
Odds are one of them might be married. No, I would never do that, man. I'm a good, decent man.
all right, man.
Yeah, a smile is very important.
It is.
The problem is a lot of people are not confident in their smiles, so they don't want to smile. But yes, please smile, regardless. It doesn't
Smile.
matter. Smile.
Smile. Be happy. That's it. Be happy. Be a
That's it.
happy person.
That's your smile. Good. That's $1,000 smile. This
Not
is
a
$1 million smile. I'll give you 900,000. 100,000 less than me.
What?
Okay, go. No, I'm kidding.
Come on, man.
It's $1 million each. I'll give it to you.
All right, man. All right.
Equal.
Part 2. If you don't do this, you are headed for trouble. Remember a person's name to tell them it's the sweetest sound in any language. This is something.
Say the last word again. I missed it.
Okay, I'm going to read exactly how they say it. Remember that a person's name is to them the sweetest sound in any language.
Yes.
This is something I have taken from this book directly.
Mm,
Remember, I'm terrible at names,
yeah.
but I do my best 2 things. Remember people's names and remember their birthdays. I'm not perfect. I read this book 2019, so 5 years ago. But I've progressively gotten much better at this, especially with customers. I have their names written down, and name is so important, dude. You introduce them. Hey, I'm Matt. What's your name? You grab their name. Before you say bye, you say bye so-and-so, right? When you hit them up, hey, so-and-so. When you text them, hi, so-and-so. When it's their birthday, say, hey, happy birthday, so-and-so. It is so important, man. They're just going to, they gravitate towards you much faster.
Yeah, I agree. The same thing, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't read this book, but I swear to you,
Yeah.
like,
You've been working on that, the names?
no, birthdays. Especially.
Oh, birthdays, yes.
Names too, because
Yes.
I'm bad at names.
Yeah.
But birthdays, yeah. Like I'll remember a person's
Yeah.
birthday, and like I might not be like super close with them, but I'll
Yeah.
wish them happy birthday.
Just to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I agree, dude. Another thing, like, I noticed this too with birthdays. When somebody wishes me a birthday that I don't even expect to wish me, I'm like, it makes me smile a little bit. It's like, dang, I was important enough for them to remember to wish me happy
Yeah.
birthday. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm feeling like that, then they probably feel the same way.
Also, these days it's so easy to remember somebody's birthday.
Jot it down in your
Facebook.
calendar.
No, like Snapchat reminds you.
Oh.
If you have that, Facebook
guess so, yeah.
reminds you.
I just jot it down in the calendar.
Yeah. Even Apple, like when you text somebody, right?
Does
It says like a birthday. It says today is someone's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, suggested birthdays or something. Yeah, it does that. You
I
didn't
did not
know that?
know that. No.
Look at me. I'm a new Apple
There you go.
convert. Less than a year, and I know
There you
that. I am
Oh,
a
you know what? I
convert.
think if you do save your birthday in your profile and then you share your profile with
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
that's when. Yeah, you think you're
'Cause
right.
I saw it recently, and I was like,
Mm.
oh yeah, thank God. This
I'll
reminded
just
me.
literally jot it in the calendar and I'll put every year, all day.
Oh wow.
So every year when it comes up,
that's good.
I'll just get reminded and I'll do
That's
it.
even
Yeah.
more of an active approach. Yeah.
I'm very active with it.
I just
dude.
try to mentally remember,
Yeah.
like, okay, this is the date. Yeah.
And I try to put people's first and last names.
And one thing also is a lot of people fake try to pronounce somebody else's name right.
Really?
They try to fake it, like, oh yeah, I really want to get your name right, and then they keep like they don't really care, but they're just saying it to make the other person feel better.
Like they'll say, "Is your name Ibrahim?"
Yeah, they're like fake trying to like pronounce it. I've had so many instances, bro.
What?
Don't even get me started.
But
Yeah,
how do you know they're faking it?
because I could tell. I'm like, oh, fuck off. I'm like, and mentally, I'm like, all right, dude, just call me Abraham. Go for it. Go for it. Like, you know what?
Wow.
Yeah. But the thing is that there are some people that genuinely want
Yeah.
to learn how to say my name
Yeah.
properly, and I appreciate them more for that.
I
My
know.
point is, try to say somebody's name right, and
Right.
actually like try to get it right.
Yeah.
Even if it's awkward or weird, try it.
I've
And
known
then
you
try
for.
to stick to that pronunciation.
I've known you for how long?
But you
And
you
I'm
you
still not
can't
right.
you can't even say you can you're just the worst example of this. Basically, I'm describing this guy.
That's exactly it. Oh man, I do it intentionally. Okay,
For the record, the right way to say my name is Ibrahim.
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 Okay, go. What's the next one?
Ibrahim.
Don't say it.
Ibrahim. An easy way to become a good conversationalist, be a good listener, and encourage others to talk about themselves. We kind of cover this.
Be encourage.
People to talk about themselves.
Yeah.
What is some?
Honestly, I don't have
More-
to do that these days.
What's
Everybody
that?
just talks about themselves. I don't even have
Yeah.
to do it.
But I do encourage it. Even when they do, I kind of like entice them to.
Yeah, I actually enjoy listening. It's not like I
Yeah.
don't enjoy listening. I like it listening to people's stories and
Yeah.
where they come from. That's the thing, going back to the earlier point.
Yeah.
You have to be curious about people and their stories. Because
Yes.
I think that comes out of humility. Once you understand that everybody is kind of just like you, they're humans, they're
Yeah.
going through the ups and downs. Don't you want to know how somebody's dealing with XYZ struggle? Don't you want to know
Right.
how this city has shaped this person's personality? Don't you want to know why this person likes Mexican food over Indian food?
Right.
Don't you want to know why this person likes cricket over golf? As
Yeah.
they should. As they should.
Well, I disagree, but it's okay. If they believe that, it's all right. I want to know why. Oh, and then I want to challenge them to a golf match.
And then I want to tell them, don't. 'Cause
I'll challenge you
the
to a cricket
superior
match.
sport is cricket.
I'll challenge you to a cricket match.
How would we play cricket?
I will
guess we
wicket your
could.
cricket. I will wicket your cricket any day. Okay. Just like the last point, it said that listening to your name is the sweetest sound in any language.
Mm.
The sweetest language to any person
Mm-hmm.
is talking about themselves.
Mm.
Everybody feels good when they talk about themselves, man.
Depends.
I sometimes feel uncomfortable talking about myself too much, personally.
Yeah.
But dude, when I see somebody talking about an experience they've had and then they smile, it tells you like that brightens their day. Somebody's willing to listen about whatever experience they went through or like something fun that they've had to do. I don't always, honestly, I think it happens more to people that I know. Some people that I know personally on a personal level, I don't have an interest in hearing about their experiences.
Why? How come?
Or trips or it. 'Cause-
Damn.
yeah, I'm serious, dude. Straight up.
Why is that? Because you don't vibe with them?
It's not. I just don't like people that are arrogant, dude. And it's like if I know you on a personal level and you only want to talk about your experiences and you have no interest in listening to mine, and I know you're like a family member, dude. Honestly, bro, you're not really my family. That's what it comes down
So
to.
let's say Donald Trump. Let's say Donald Trump comes on the podcast,
Yeah.
becomes your family, but doesn't change. Would that offend you?
DJT?
Would you confront him and be like, Donald, why don't you ever let me speak?
I'll be like, DJT, I'm already offended by you, brother. We're not even family yet. I'm already offended by you.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I still just like listening. It's fine. Even if I'll hear him out. I'll hear them out, but
yeah.
best believe I'm chiming in too. It's not just gonna be a one-way street.
But why? That's my thing, man. I used to feel like that, and I've recently realized I'm not even interested in telling them about my life. If they don't want to hear about it, why do I care about telling them? And if they don't care about hearing me out, I don't care about hearing you out.
The thing is, though, if you're working at a job or you go to a place and you see this person often, you have to find a way to deal with it.
You're right.
You can't avoid it.
Sometimes it has to happen.
It just makes it. I just find it to be more peaceful if we just talk it out instead of having this like weird power dynamic of, you know,
maybe
like, he said, she said, I said. I'm like, oh, fine, just tell me, bro, but you gotta listen to me as well. Maybe
and if
it'll
they
be
don't
30
listen, if they're doing that thing, they're like looking around. They're like,
call it out.
Call
Call, like, what are you looking at? Somebody more beautiful?
I do that.
Yeah,
I do that.
Like, what?
And I'm
what's
like,
going on?
what happened? I'm like, what happened? Over
Yeah,
there?
and then they're like,
And
"Whoa."
yeah,
I'd be
exactly.
like, "Whoa, what
It
happened?"
happens. But I don't.
Humans are so predictable, bro.
People are, dude. But even then, it's like they're like faking it, and it's like, why am I just feel like I'm literally in bizarro world, bro.
See, all of us
I'm
are
like
thinking these things. My thing is, see, you're thinking this, right? Just
Yeah.
articulate it. It just breaks the ice. A lot of times we're all thinking the same
You're
thing.
right.
We're
I don't
awkward.
even want to have that,
It's okay. It's just
I
like,
don't want
it's
it, though.
hilarious to me, bro. I just find it
bro.
comedy.
When it's like your cousin or like an uncle or like an aunt,
I guess.
it's like, brother,
Yeah.
can you be genuine, man? I'm genuine to you. I'm not hiding anything
It's
from
more.
you.
It hurts more when it's a family member.
Of course, because you care about what they think.
Mm.
And if they don't care about what you think, it's like that hurts me more than a random person not caring.
Has a quant ever done this to you?
No, Quant's a good listener.
Ah.
I think Quant's a pretty good listener.
Quantitative
It's
listening right now.
It's the Asian in him. I don't know if it's a Filipino in him, but it's probably the Asian.
Are Filipinos, they tend to be good listeners? Is that a stereotype or
I don't think they are.
really?
Generally, do you think Filipinos are good listeners? They're not, right?
You don't think so?
You know,
Why?
just-
really?
No.
I just it's okay.
Experientially, I don't think so.
Inside jokes.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, you're basing it off of
How to interest
very
people.
small.
Talk in terms of the other person's interest.
Inside jokes, listeners. You don't get this. All right.
Shut up, Samir. Samir, shut up.
Uh-oh.
How to interest people. Talk in terms of the other person's interest. I do this. This is something I also got from the book that I've directly related. I won't really talk. You know, man, there's 2 points to this. Talk in terms of other people's interests when you're getting to know somebody. But this is something I've realized, not even intentionally. I didn't even do this intentionally. But something that I've totally realized, man, when you are doing something that you are naturally just interested in and you can talk about and you have the best experiences and you have cool stories, then people are naturally thinking that you're a cool person. They're naturally interested in you because you have this like light in your eyes about what you're doing. Honestly, the pallet industry, it's not that interesting, right? It's really not. I'm buying used products. That's what it comes down to.
the most interesting pallet company
It comes
in America.
down to the liquidation industry comes down to buying used products and reselling it. That is really it. But I'll talk to people about it and they'll be like, dude, I've never heard of a business like this and I'm like shocked that you're able to do this. And it's just because the energy that comes out of me. If I'm talking about surfing, like it's just a cool thing to do, right? It's just your energy that comes out of your interests. If you genuinely like something and you have that energy behind your words, people will gravitate towards you 100%.
Yeah. But it just comes down to curiosity as well, though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are just shut off to ideas. But it's okay. Like, I'm shut off to golf. That's not going to change. That makes me a better person.
No. But there has been times where I've told you about games or certain things, and you're like, that happened? How does that even work? And
yeah,
you know what I'm
curious,
saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you can tell a story like with energy, people naturally become more curious.
Curiosity stems from humility. And humility empowers you to be curious.
Curiosity stems from humility, really.
And humility empowers you to be curious. Oh my God.
That's like
somebody give me a book.
Are you Buddhist?
Pen a book.
Are you Buddhist or what?
I am an Ahmadi Muslim. But yeah, man, like it's what you just said about, like asking people questions and making even dull things interesting. That's a skill in of itself, because that can make someone's day. If somebody's like, what's like a job that's okay, I'll give you an example. Like, remember that internship I did when I was like mundane, and I complained to my supervisor. I said it's a mundane job, and she almost fired me for calling a job mundane in my daily report. But like, jobs like that.
Yeah.
Somebody's had a tough day. Clearly, they don't enjoy what they do, or
Yeah.
the stuff they do is paperwork, not fun.
Not
Like a
fun.
lawyer,
Yeah.
just looking at paperwork all day. Maybe you can ask them a question about something. At least has to be something they find interesting, or like the wildest thing that's happened to them
Mm.
at their job, or like
Yeah.
what drives them to do whatever it is they do. And sometimes nothing drives them, but that's at least you asked, right? At least you're curious about what makes the person do whatever job they're doing, or what makes them, come to work every day. Like why? Why is as you've said and we've talked about this, why is always one of the best questions to
Yeah.
ask.
So in your example, you think a better approach for your manager is to ask you better questions of what interests you?
The better approach is don't take
It's
what
serious?
a 17-year-old intern says about his or her job that
Yeah.
seriously. That's the lesson for my manager.
I agree. But I also agree from a manager's perspective that there has to be a way to like, hey, this isn't okay.
No, bro.
Yeah, I think
I swear,
so,
if I
bro.
was in her position, I said Monday. Today was another mundane day. I guess, yeah.
But what if it
Oh.
snowballs into something bigger?
No, it should come out of love though, because
Mm.
the thing is, good. I'm so happy this got brought up, because a lot of times managers forget
Yeah.
that their job is to actually make the people that work for them enjoy whatever it is that they're doing. So if they're not
Okay.
enjoying,
Yeah.
that should affect the manager, because you should want to make somebody.
That's a good point.
You should want to make
Yeah.
somebody, happy about the
Yeah.
work they're doing, or make them excited.
Yes.
And that's like not a problem just for the employee, it's a problem for the manager as well. But that manager in that
Mhm.
instance had an ego. She
Mm.
thought that, she didn't first of all, just lack of maturity as well, which is
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
Managers are
Yeah.
supposed to be leaders.
yeah.
That's what it boils down to. And nowadays, managers are not leaders. There's so many conversations and topics about this. Managers is not equal a leader. I've seen these on Instagram. It's like manager does this, leaders do this, right?
Yeah.
And this is one of the biggest things, and I think this is why a lot of people are unhappy in their workplace, because they have managers leading them instead of true leaders leading them. If somebody's a leader, they genuinely enjoy what they're doing, and they genuinely enjoy and can appreciate the people that are under them, and they can empower them, right, to do better, be better. And if somebody's not enjoying their job, that's okay. Maybe there's another job in the company that they would enjoy better. Talk to them.
Yeah.
I think in Google and like Toast, for example, there's a lot of lateral movement, which is totally fine.
Between departments.
Exactly, which is totally fine. Sometimes people think they're going to be a good sales rep, and maybe the managers too, but maybe they're just not that good. Maybe they're a better customer service rep, or maybe they're a better project manager or project engineer, whatever it is, right? It's totally okay if somebody isn't enjoying what they're doing. If they're a decent human and they're adaptable, then, you can move them around and you guys can have conversations, and it can be a mutually agreeable thing,
Yeah.
right?
I agree. But sometimes it can also just be leaving the industry.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like if you have an unhappy intern,
Yeah.
I think you can be funny with them and be like, yeah, you probably hate your job. Sorry, just
Yeah.
deal with it for a couple months. I'm sure this.
That's a
will not last
humane
forever.
way to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times you do a job, right, and people don't realize you're just there for a season. Like
Mhm.
you don't want this to be your full-time thing.
Yeah.
You don't want this to be a career path, but they're like offended at the fact that you don't want it to be
Right.
a career path. Like, how dare you not want to do my job? What? You don't want to be promoted to be
Yeah.
a manager of Five Guys? How dare you? not?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and nothing against managers of Five Guys. I've actually never eaten at a Five Guys before.
Really?
I should, yeah.
You should.
Is
right
it
next to
good
you.
burgers?
It's expensive, but it's good. It's good. It's
Better
quality.
than In-N-Out?
No. But it's good. It's actually good.
Then I'm not going.
It's actually good though.
That's
It's a
actually
different
good.
experience than In-N-Out. In-N-Out's
Okay.
refreshing. That's like fulfilling.
Oh my god. this
Would you agree,
food.
Quat? It's filling, isn't it?
No,
Like
you
when you
said-
eat it, you feel like
No, you
yeah.
said fulfill.
It is fulfilling. Like it fulfills your hunger.
So In-N-Out is
Yeah, it's a big burger.
In-N-Out is refreshing,
Yeah.
and Five Guys is
It's fulfilling.
Yeah. Do you agree or disagree? Find out.
Tell us in the comments.
Yeah. You're welcome. 10-second clip right there.
Now that you
We're
mentioned,
also clip farmers.
hey, we've been clip farming this whole time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
No.
The whole manager anecdote that you told me there. Now that I'm thinking
What
about
a great point I made.
it is a great point. No, it is actually a great point though.
Yeah.
I didn't think about this, but my last two jobs, I'm not going to say them, but I worked at a logistics company and then I worked at a staffing agency, right? At the logistics company, I remember my manager. I was an account manager. He took me to lunch, and it was like one of the first few weeks, and he was basically prepping me to take his role eventually. That's what his conversation was. That's why he wanted to bring me on, basically. I was 21, joining in as an account manager, and he was basically prepping me in order to take his role. And I ultimately left the role because it just wasn't exciting. There was not enough work. I was working like 2 hours a day, and I was asking for more work to do more things, and it just wasn't happening, right? So when I did leave, I didn't know at the time. I thought he would understand why, because I found a better opportunity, right? And I took off because, more money, more responsibility was what I thought was better at the time. Now I disagree, but I've recently reached out to him because I have a warehousing business and I need some logistics help. So I reached out to him, texted him, did not respond.
Damn.
So
multiple times you texted?
Twice. And I had a mentor there too. Reached out to him twice, I think, did not respond. So leads me to believe that they weren't exactly happy with my decision, right? Or maybe wasn't worth their time to respond to. Whatever. My second job, I did not like at all, right? It was staffing agency. I was an account manager, and the one with Mo, with my buddy Mo, exactly. I did not like my manager at all. I think we had a weird tension going, but we had a conversation in the car one time.
I think you told me.
I don't know if I told you this one. It was the most humane experience I've ever had with him. He told me. I told you. He told me one time. He was like, "This job isn't going to be your job forever, and it shouldn't be."
Yeah.
And that was the only time I saw humanity in this man. Other than that, he expected me to work 12 to 14-hour days, right, as a complete robot, just being a staffing agency soldier, basically. And when I left, it wasn't good blood at all. It wasn't out of good faith when I took off. But when I heard that, I was like, okay, this is interesting. At least he understood why the sales reps are here. We're not here to completely build up and become this soldier, this corporate soldier. We're building up for skill sets and to do something probably worthwhile in life. That's what I took from it, which I can appreciate. And I never heard another similar thing from him after that or before that. So I don't know what was going on in his life that day.
Maybe he was putting on a front. Maybe he wanted to be that tough boss. Maybe he wanted to be.
Maybe he was an ex-Marine. I mean, he's a Marine. So maybe he felt like he had to have this facade.
That also brings me to another point about, if we're talking about managers and employees, in either case, in any professional setting, you have to get to know the other person. You can't have this professional relationship. I don't believe in that. Like I'm not saying like, tell me your deepest, darkest secrets.
Yeah.
Tell me everything. Tell me all your traumas. No, I'm just saying, get to know the other person. Get to know what makes them, whatever it is that makes them. Otherwise, you're just like, there's like so many layers of confusion and complexity that you have to go through. Once somebody tells you who they are and shares something about them, where they come from, you're like, okay, this makes sense. That makes sense. And okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's move forward. Let's keep up with each other's life. Because beyond like work, who cares what you did 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But this relationship will last however long we're living, or maybe even after. Maybe our kids will be friends, or maybe our circles will coincide and hang out with each other.
There's a lot of insincerity in interviews, I feel.
Job interviews. How so?
I feel like I've had a lot of job interviews, and I've played this different ways, being completely genuine to who I am and not genuine to who I am, what I think they want to hear, right? Yeah. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it doesn't, right? But I feel like, especially the interviewer asking questions, they expect certain answers, and you can see, because a lot happened over Zoom interviews, right, over COVID.
Yeah.
And you can see it in their eyes when you say something that they want to hear or what they don't want to hear. And it's okay, in my opinion, if I was interviewing somebody, it's okay if somebody says something that they're interested in writing. It's okay if they're not completely 100% a sales representative. It's okay that they go surfing. It's okay that they want to start their own business one day. There is nothing wrong with this stuff.
You're telling me they don't watch the Wall Street on repeat 7 days a week?
They don't, man. They don't. But it's okay to have different interests.
Yeah.
And when you're interviewing, you can totally tell that they want a script. They want you to be scripted
Yeah.
in the job as well, right? And that just doesn't vibe with me.
Mhm. Have you ever
yeah.
had an in-person interview?
Yeah, plenty of in-person interviews.
You have.
Yeah.
Were they different than the Zoom ones in terms of the layers of being genuine or not?
I don't know if I've had an in-person interview and not gotten hired. Yeah. I'm way more confident in person.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can, like, my confidence exudes and they can feel my presence. Rather on a screen, I look like a 15-year-old kid. I say I have an account management experience. I say I have project management experience, but I look like I'm 15. How does this make any sense?
Like this incel.
You know what I'm
is he
saying?
talking about?
In person, incel. In person, though, you're not exactly like tied down to time. Like a conversation can go where the conversation goes.
Yeah.
Rather on Zoom, they have 8 interviews they need to get through that day, and they don't have time to take it 16 minutes rather than 15 minutes.
I prefer in person
Right?
over Zoom. I agree. Any
Yeah.
day. I just feels better. I feel safer.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be myself more.
Yeah.
On Zoom, you fidget a little bit, you bend down to get some water.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they're all looking at you weird, or I don't know, man.
The conversation doesn't feel natural, bro.
Yeah.
You're like, especially, oh, dude, you've done interviews over Zoom, man.
Yeah, so many.
The small talk in the beginning,
Yeah.
it's like,
But that's anywhere, bro. That's the same thing.
I feel like it's more natural in person though,
Really?
because you can look around their office. Like I've had managers, their kids went to Laverne, or like I'm able to see certain things on their desk, or they have 2 kids, one kid, mountain bikes, and I'm able to relate. Certainly, you can't relate at all because majority of people have a virtual background.
Or their kids running in the back.
Or-
Or like, who's that
yeah.
shouting?
That's happened.
Who's that pulling your beard?
That's happened, dude. Not pulling the beard. Has that happened to you? Pulling the beard?
No, I'm just
Oh.
kidding.
But you've heard that, right? Kids yelling in the
Yeah,
background
yeah.
or running into the room or
Sure.
whatever. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong in that either, actually. I think that humanizes them more. But in person is just better.
I actually think you have more of an opportunity to bullshit in
Mhm.
Zoom interviews compared to in-person interviews.
Why is that?
Because in person, first of all, a lot of people don't have the balls to tell you person to person, hey, man, I really did replicate $1 into $1 million in like 2 years versus Zoom through a filter of a screen. You
Yeah.
feel more confident just making up random stuff. At least that's my like
Okay.
intuition. I don't have any fact or
Yeah,
data
yeah,
to
yeah.
prove this, but I think
I have to think about that.
I think people are more likely to BS through the lens of a screen
Through
on
Zoom.
Zoom interviews. Because in person, bro,
Yeah.
a lot of people just like bail in terms of their confidence because they get nervous. You could just tell.
Yeah.
You can tell if your foot is fidgeting. You could tell on Zoom. You can't really tell your legs, right? You see your
Right.
entire body. But in person, for the most part, the moment you walk in,
Yeah.
you create a certain form of an impression. Every single thing, every little thing.
Yeah.
If you're really good at reading people, tells you something about
100%,
themselves.
man.
Yeah.
And people should be. I'm naturally a fidgety person. Like
Yeah.
when I'm sitting here, I'm like my leg goes like this.
Yeah.
It's not even because I'm nervous or I don't know why, but my hands, they naturally shake. Naturally, I don't have ADD. I don't have ADHD.
Are you
But-
sure?
Yes, I'm pretty certain. But naturally, my feet will shake or my knee. I'll kind of bounce my knee up and down. But if you're naturally aware of the things that you do, it will help you in an
Yeah.
interview because now you can actually ground yourself. Like in an interview, you can you can put your feet down and look at a person in the eyes, and maybe they'll start fidgeting. And Mo told me this one. This is a good topic. Mo told me because he's an excellent interviewer.
Hmm.
This guy gets it's insane.
Which episode was he on our podcast?
One of the
We
one of the
talked
first
about
5.
everything but this. We
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah, he's an excellent interviewer, man.
Yeah.
This guy gets recruited left and right. He gets the jobs whenever he won't even apply. That's the thing.
Mo is the title of the podcast we had with him was
Uh-huh.
Getting Married at 24.
That's right.
Yeah.
Getting married at 24 years old.
Figure it out, whichever number that
Yeah,
was.
whichever that is. This guy, dude, I remember at the last job, just getting recruited left and right. He doesn't apply for jobs really. It's when he gets recruited, he
Yeah,
says, "This is my time."
He attracts.
He attracts it,
recruiters.
literally.
Yeah.
And so I asked him, okay, once you're in the interview though, like what is your strategy to get the job? And he says that his strategy is to take control of the conversation. So they'll ask him something,
Yes.
and not only will he answer the question, but he'll redirect it to an answer that he thinks they're going to ask him in the future. And so if he's already doing that, he feels that, because this happened to me too. When I answer a question and I prolong it into something else, interviewer's like, oh, actually, I mean, you already answered this, so we'll go on to the next thing. But this guy's naturally charismatic. He has a way of conversation, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that in the 3.5 hours, our
In the
longest
yeah.
episode to date.
If you're trying to, you're trying to convert to a religion, that's the one to listen to.
No, we talked about his marriage and life. It was a great episode.
A lot of it was about Islam. A lot of it.
A
Which
lot
is
of it
fine.
was
He's
about-
really passionate.
A lot of it was also about how he got married at 24. That's the title of the podcast.
Yeah.
But what Mo is
Yeah.
doing in his specific interviews that you
Yes.
just mentioned is he's taking the power in his own hands.
Right.
In interviews, the power is always with the person asking the questions. But I think one of your jobs, as Mo does,
Yeah.
should be to take some of that power in your hands. I'm not saying make
Complete it,
yourself.
yeah.
I'm saying stab at it. Because
Yeah.
if it's like 95-5, that can go either way. But if it's 95-25
Yeah.
or 30, just a little bit, or not 90,
Well, yeah, that
70
wouldn't make
30.
sense.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Mr.
Mr.
Mathematician.
Mr. AP Stats.
If it's like 70-30, 65-35, that's 100%.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, this is a mathematical fact checker here.
No,
what I'm
you're
saying?
right,
You have
yeah.
to take some power in your own hands.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also one thing, I mean, a lot of people give this advice, but let's make the interviewers talk about themselves.
Make the
the-
interviews talk about themselves.
Make the interviewers talk about
Yeah.
themselves. Like,
it's
they're
the
like,
same thing.
they're like, oh, I
Dale's
was in an
talking about.
interview and I
Yeah.
asked somebody some question and they're like, oh, no one's asked me that yet.
Oh, really?
And that's the best line you could hear at an interview is, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no one's asked me that.
That is a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you ask them?
Something about like specifically about the job. I don't
Did you get the
remember.
job?
Yeah.
Oh, there
I'm
you
very
go.
successful with Zoom interviews.
You're very successful. Oh, really?
I don't think I've ever not gotten anything.
I'm very unsuccessful with Zoom interviews.
Really?
I'm very unsuccessful with Zoom interviews. I've gotten one job from a Zoom interview.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Out of how many?
Lots.
Really?
Lots.
I've missed. It's not like I have a perfect record, but no, I think I might have a perfect. I can't
With
think.
Zoom interviews.
I can't. No, I'm not even
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
brag.
No,
'Cause
serious. Yeah.
most of my stuff has just been on Zoom. Maybe there's one, maybe one or two,
Yeah.
maybe. But in person, yeah,
Have you had in-person interviews?
I have in-person interviews. Not that
But you
many
prefer in-person.
though. I
over
prefer
Zoom.
in person, bro. Zoom is always
Even though Zoom you're more successful in.
Zoom, because Zoom, bro. I will say this.
Yeah.
Look, I admit of this, but I'm very creative with the way I handle Zoom interviews. Meaning, like I can,
Bullshit.
I can not particularly that word, but I would say I can add more texture to
Yeah.
myself.
Really?
Yeah, it's
to like your experience or to like
not just
anecdotes?
yeah, just there's an art to Zoom interviews. You can consult me for
I'm
that.
not
I
good
can
at Zoom
charge you
interviews.
for
I'm
that.
not good at Zoom interviews at all, bro.
Zoom interviews, bro. Yeah. They're not the best. I prefer in person. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's been a while.
I
since
might
did
be
an
the worst
in-person
Zoom interviewer
interview.
out there.
Really?
I might be. I might just be.
It's probably just a screen then, bro. The filter of the screen. I'm telling
Probably,
you,
or maybe it's just
way-
me, man.
It's different the way humans look on Zoom. I know they're the
Yeah.
same. This might sound stupid, but it's just the way.
It is weird, man.
It's just
Not
weird.
normal. It's
They're
not
all
natural.
sitting in chairs and then they're like looking at you.
Yeah.
Somebody's drinking a water. I don't know. It's just
It is
weird.
not natural.
Yeah.
Have you ever walked out of an?
Oh, I just remember what I didn't get.
Whoa.
Oh, this is an acting thing though.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
What is it?
It was a callback to
Yeah.
something. I did not do well. It's fine.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I just remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Acting wise, I'm 0 for 1 actually. I did terrible.
Have you ever walked out of an interview and like this is not the right role for me?
Yeah, not most, a lot of the time.
A lot. Yeah.
Actually, a job I did for a long time. I was like, oh, I don't want to work here.
No,
I
at an
don't-
interview?
After an interview, I was like, I don't want to work there. And then yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But like during interview, mid-interview.
Yeah, I
you-
realized
oh,
that,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Once they say,
Yeah.
oh, there's going to be a lot of work, it's going to be 14-hour
Yeah.
days, I'm like,
Do you tell them like, hey, I don't think?
no,
this is it.
I'm like, oh, god damn it.
I've told people like, this-
Really?
Yeah. This I was like, honestly, this is not the right role.
The thing is, that's not the smartest thing to do. Because the smartest thing to do
Yeah.
is, okay, recognize that, but
Yeah.
to them, be like, okay, I can overcome that. Because you want to keep that window open.
Some
at
of these
the
I have
moment-
no interest, bro.
Yeah, but at that moment you might feel like overburdened. But
Yeah.
after a good night's sleep, you might be like, oh, you know what? Actually, because you can change your mind. You have to be like aware that you might change your mind. But if it's an absolute no, then yeah,
Bro, I'm
sure.
gonna tell you. I don't know if I should say the company name.
Don't say the company. name.
Okay. Well, it's a very big company, bro.
Yeah.
Huge company.
Yeah.
And I get interviews for an account manager position.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
account manager positions typically minimum is $80,000 if you're in Los Angeles, right?
Okay.
Minimum. This
Starting
company, this company had the audacity to say $32,000, and I looked and I was like, 32,000. I was like, I would be decreasing my pay by almost threefold. Why would I make that move? I asked them that, and they were like, well, it takes a step back to get 2 steps forward.
Oh.
And
I would have laughed. I would have
and
been
I was like,
2 plus 2 is 6, right?
and I was like, respectfully, I would be ignorant if I were to take this role.
Oh, damn.
And so, and then I was like, I think this is it. And so I walked away because that's insulting. Honestly, dude, if I were to interview somebody and they told me, hey, respectfully, like I do have a good job right now, but I'm interested in other opportunities. I'm like, okay, what's your pay and what's your work hours like? And they were like, oh, I'm making 80,000 and it's a really easy 8 hour day. I would say, and if I knew my job wasn't that easy, I would tell them you should stick with your company. That is the right thing to do, bro. Company or not, you got to do the right thing.
I agree. 100%.
Right? Especially if they're not attached already. That's happened to me where the company hasn't been honest with me. I had a better opportunity at a company I was already working for, and they deceived me. They told me things were going to be a certain way, and they ended up not being, right? And that is not a good feeling being in your early 20s and that happening to you. I mean, it builds character, obviously, right? But that's not right.
I can always see through employers' BS.
Yeah?
I'm like, yeah, it's very clear, bro. For salary though, in that case, I would have been like, I can work in McDonald's and Sears at the same time, or Sears doesn't exist, but like
And make
30
more
and make more money than that.
It's ridiculous.
It's like what?
Being an account manager at a huge
The
tech
funniest
company,
thing is she said,
like-
he or she. What did they say? It takes 2 steps back to take
or
one.
takes 1 step back to get 2 steps forward. I'm like,
Wait, why? That doesn't make any sense. Take 1 step back, but
To
no,
get 2
I'm
forward.
back 3 steps now. I gotta go that way.
it's just,
That's very stupid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's my anecdote. Oh, I think somebody's here.
We talked about
Yeah.
friends. We haven't. We have
How
talked
did-
about both of it actually.
Yeah.
I basically said it's not. I don't like the term of winning friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a pause real quick.
Yeah. Let's take a
Okay.
pause.
What's going on, guys? Currently have a issue with one of our hosts, Matt G. Some business came up, but somebody just unsubscribed in our YouTube channel.
Oh.
How do I win friends?
This was off.
This whole time?
No, I think I turned it off.
It always sounded fine to me.
Okay.
But
Hopefully.
so the question was, how do you win friends?
Yeah.
Man,
Do you
I never thought about it like that. I don't really win friends. I just attract them.
How did you attract a person with the first name letter C?
Just be me, man. Just be me. Think you gotta do some risk. Take some risk.
What was the risk that you took? What did you have to lose? I guess your
Rejection.
reputation.
I mean, I'm a dude who's afraid of rejection.
You've been rejected before.
Of course.
How did that make you feel?
Horrible.
How did you get over it?
Gym. Yeah, but no, man. This is not gonna be on a pod, is it?
Maybe.
No, bro. But get this out.
Why? The gym. That's a great answer.
It is a good answer.
Why would you not want it on this podcast? I mean,
I don't.
why would you not want
look at
that on the
look at what I'm
podcast?
wearing. What is this?
That's good. That you're looking swole. I'm seeing some stretch marks, what makes me think you're finally climbing the weight ladder. Makes me think you're
I am.
finally hitting 30-pound dumbbells now. For
45
curls?
actually.
45?
I curl 45.
Damn, bro. That's impressive.
Thank
Genuinely.
you. Thank you.
What about benching? The chest looks a
Well,
little.
It always been.
Do push-ups.
I
Do you do
bench
push-ups?
185.
No, benching, honestly, I think you could do calisthenics and get your chest up more.
Really?
Do you do push-ups?
Yeah,
How
I do.
often?
3 days a week.
3 days a week. How many?
About 3 sets.
Of
That's
what?
not a
How
lot.
many reps?
15.
No. Always do 25 to 30 reps.
Really?
Do at least 100 push-ups, yeah.
How did this
Or
pod
dips.
turn into a gym?
No, I'm telling you. Look at me,
Gym
man.
tip.
No.
I'm looking at the camera.
I'm basically David Guy.
look, man. I don't want to run 30 miles every morning.
30, more like 60.
I don't know.
I don't even know what he does. No, he doesn't do 60.
I don't know what he does.
That's a marathon.
I don't want to carry the boats.
You should do dips. Do your dips
I do dips, yeah.
every day.
No, not every day. Only on this push days.
So how often do you do dips? You would say.
So my schedule is push, pull, legs.
Your legs are insanely big, bro. I will say
Thank you.
you're probably the only guy I know that actually has. Well, god damn, your calves are triple my size, bro. That's not right. Hold on, so let me see the left one. The left one looks a little weaker.
I don't know, bro. I think
Regardless, this is amazing, bro.
I think
But
this
you
is my
gotta
sport leg.
do dips.
Dips.
Yeah, dips. Do dips like honestly, bro. Do dips every day if you
Every
want to
day?
chest. Do dips and push-ups.
I'll
I guarantee you'll
best.
get it. If you do this for 2 weeks every single day, dips and push-ups, you'll be good.
Okay.
Oh, also you should do this cable machine. I don't know what this is called.
Yeah, that's a cable machine.
What is that?
Cross pullover.
Yeah, do you do that?
Yeah,
How often?
dude, as much as I can. Maybe like 5.
Days a
I
week?
do. I even do it on back days.
For the chest? But the
Yeah.
thing is, the key is to hold in the position here.
Oh, I don't do it.
Hold, bro. A lot of people
I
don't
just-
realize. And also that cable machine, you get this arm, that arm,
Oh yeah,
and then you go.
I do up, middle, and then bottom.
What the hell? Okay, but I guess then what's missing is dips and push-ups, are the final 2 keys.
I don't know, man. I've done everything.
No.
I-
You gotta do push-ups, bro. You're doing 55 push. No. You're doing 75 push-ups, right?
What do you? No, not 7. Probably like less. 50.
No, 45. You're doing 45
Yeah.
push-ups. No, that's not nearly enough. Nobody.
I
Nobody.
mean, you gotta like. You gotta consider. I do 45 of those,
Uh-huh.
but I also do diamonds,
How many?
and that's the same. 45.
Do 100 push-ups. That's it.
Damn, bro.
Do 100 push-ups and dips.
Alright, man.
Do like 5 to 6 sets of dips.
Okay. If
Maybe not
come-
every day, but
I'll
do it.
come back in what, like couple episodes, and if I don't see any results, you heard it
At
here.
least 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll come back in 2 weeks in
At
the
least
pod.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull up.
I want enough time for your chest to develop, so your pecs to be well defined.
I've been trying for my whole gym career, man.
What career? You just got started. How long you been working out for?
It's been on and off,
On
But-
and off. Or the
but
worst
I started in
things-
junior year.
on and off relationship with the gym.
Yeah.
That just gave me anxiety.
It
That's the one
does.
thing you should never have an on and off relationship.
What's up, Quant?
Should we end the podcast? Come on, let's wrap it up. We might keep this in, actually. It was pretty entertaining. Go ahead. People are like, what? And now, the man who's been listening to these bums the whole time. You think it's bad for you?
I think we should make this parts, part 1, part 2, because we've only been through part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
We have part 3 and part 4 to get through.
Okay, we can do that.
Let's just do one more thing. What's that?
No, so we're back.
Yeah.
A customer came for your pallets.
Yeah, customer came real quick. No, she's cool. She took off, yeah. Alright. We're back. It was a customer that needed help.
What
real
were we
quick.
talking about before?
We were
I was
talking
giving
about
him gym advice when you were gone.
how to interest people, talking in terms of other people's interests. But then we're talking about my manager situation.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the manager situation, but point of the story is with the managers. What are you laughing at, bro?
Russ was sitting here and I was complimenting his legs. They were huge. And now I'm looking at your calves. I'm like, oh my God, bro. Dude, can I say, bro?
Yeah.
His calves are humongous.
Really?
No, I'm not. Dude, he was sitting in that specific
Bigger than
angle
mine?
10 seconds ago. Bigger. They're 4 times your size.
4 times.
They're 3 times my size.
4 times my
Bro,
calf?
bro, they're a legit. I'm not even capping. Like, legitimately, like, well-defined good calves.
I've been told by many people I have beautiful calves.
No one has ever said
Alex
that to you.
Hormozzi has told me this for
Alex,
himself.
yeah. In your dreams.
He has.
You're so obsessed with Alex Hormozzi.
He's told me, bro.
that he's complimenting your legs.
He loves my. He's like, look at that.
No,
see how
you have
bump right
decent.
there?
By the way, they look good. They look better.
Thank you.
Good job. Let me see the last one.
Oh, this one's better a bit.
Oh, what the hell? Why is your left calf better than your right one?
I think the angle from the other side it looks bigger, but
Good job. You.
thank you, Alex Hormozzi,
It's
for
not like I have
influencing me.
amazing legs either, by the way.
I know it's okay, bro. I don't have the best legs. I've owned it many times, many times,
You look very painful.
and you know.
You look like a former alcoholic saying he used to be alcoholic saying that. Continue onwards, please. Sorry about
I don't have
this.
the best calves. I have good calves. I have got okay my legs are strong. That's the
Good
thing.
job. That's
My
all
legs
that
are
matters.
strong. Not the best looking legs, but they're strong legs. They're strong.
Look, I have the most ugly looking legs.
Ugly?
Probably.
Then that's something we
I'm
relate on,
blessed
bro.
that I have legs. Thank you, God, for giving me legs.
I agree. Thank you, God, for
Legs
giving
are
me legs.
so important.
Very important.
Talking about importance, God, we're so blessed to have legs.
Very important, man.
It's a beauty of life.
Okay, how to make people like you instantly.
Instantly?
He goes, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely.
Sure.
That's how you make
That's
them
one
like
way.
you instantly.
That's one way.
Instantly, Ibrahim, you are a prodigy in comedy. You're a comedic prodigy. You like the guy
Thank
instantly.
You. Thank you.
You like him
I love
instantly.
them.
Look at that smile. I've never seen a more beautiful smile. I've never seen you
I'm
smile
sure
more
you
beautifully.
haven't. I'm sure you have. Damn, bro. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
You got me to like you instantly, man.
When people tell me, Matt, you're probably the most gorgeous male I've ever seen in my life,
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you. I automatically have a natural attraction to that person.
Whoa.
Naturally. It's so natural,
Physical
in fact.
attraction?
Everything. Emotional, mental, physical, spiritual.
Sexual?
I feel amazing.
You said everything. Hold on a second.
Quite a bit everything, except
Oh.
the nudie
Are
play.
you giving ideas
the
to your
nudie play.
customers of pallet dudes?
Nudie play is not allowed.
Are we gonna see a
I'll
particular
call
type of
sexual
rally?
harassment cops.
Are we gonna see a particular type of rally during the month of June at pallet dudes in Downey now?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
The
not.
way you said that might be absolutely right.
But what I can
Absolutely
tell
yes.
you is when somebody's like, man, you're probably one of the most gorgeous males I met in your life.
Yeah.
Why aren't you a model?
Yeah.
You would be basically better than Brad Pitt in his prime.
Okay, sure.
I'm like, fuck, dude. Maybe I should be a model. I'm like, maybe what's in my cabeza isn't as important as what's on the outside, my physical appearance.
You should be thinking they're full of shit.
Really?
Yes.
See, and then when people knock me down like that, it makes me not like them.
Wow. You're
Yeah.
a genius. You remind me of a man named Donald John Trump. Literally.
Thank you. Thank you, bro. I
As long
automatically
as you
like
love
you.
me, I love you more.
I like you more,
I love
bro.
you more. I love you more.
I like you again, bro.
Even though you're brown skin, I love you. I love you so much. As long as you keep complimenting my hair, which are lovely and orange.
He has a sort of brown skin.
I think we should
it's a-
continue this podcast later.
So part 2.
Part 2.
How to win friends and influence people, part 2.
This was part 1. I hope you took something away from this.
I actually enjoyed this pod.
Okay, good.
It's pretty good.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
see you guys soon.
Learned a lot about you, man.